Every time I try to start my Wednesday garden tour, it starts to rain. It started raining like 3 times. Go ahead, Daisy. So currently, there you go. Every single time. All right, I promised to get out because I want to show you what I did this weekend, and also I want to do a couple projects. One project I thought I would integrate into my video this week. I'm very excited about it, but I have to wait till it stops raining. All right, so sorry for the bumpy ride. It's not raining right now, so I think I'm gonna be able to try and get a few things done. It's a May day. It is another day for a garden catch up, a walkie-talkie in the Winegar garden. It's really pretty. Actually, let me show you the sky right now. It's so gorgeous. Yesterday there was an eagle. We have an eagle around our area that visits often, and it was so majestic. It was right here, and the blue was just as vibrant. And of course I didn't have my camera out in time. And then I did get it out and tried to get it on a video, and then realized I didn't even click play on the video. So that was a fail. So yeah, I just wanted to show you, at this time, there's great things happening in the garden. This past weekend, I spent probably 10 hours on Saturday and several more on Sunday, just working on some important things in the garden, mostly weeding. I actually am really excited to show you that. And unfortunately, I don't think I have, oh, there's a hummingbird right there. Oh, bummer. I think I scared it. It was right on my little tulips. See if it comes back. Oh, the birds are just so amazing. And I have to apologize, I did not get out here this morning before the gun club opened, so you may hear some, it might be challenging with all of the ammunition and the guns and all that kind of stuff. So, oh no, I feel like there's a black cloud above me that's going to start dumping rain in just a couple minutes. Okay, where was I? Yes, I had the loveliest visit from one of my neighbors. She's a delight, and she had wandered over while we were working in the yard, and she was just so encouraging. Came over and just wanted to see what I had been doing in my garden and wanted to see the structure. And she's been gardening for a long time. She was so great. It just kind of, she took an approach like, I was just like, I hope this is okay. Like, are my vegetables gonna bloom? Should I cut my lettuce? Like, I was just asking her, kind of just gleaning a little off of her. And she was so encouraging and just kept saying things like, oh, it'll be great. Oh, it's gonna be great. Like, literally just making me feel like this garden shouldn't be stressful. And it's just one big exploration of joy. That's how I sort of feel, and it really is my outlet. And to work hard and labor and to see the fruits of that, literally just with seeds and all of that kind of stuff, is really, really cool. But I just enjoyed that, and she motivated me. Anyway, what I did over the weekend, what took me so long, is I weeded our tiered garden, and I'm gonna show you that today. I also wanted to show you guys something. So this came in the mail, my bird bath. I was gonna do a quick unboxing of this and put it together. I'm hoping if I can beat the rain. This one has a solar fountain on it, so I'm excited to put that out in my garden, and thought I'd maybe put that together with y'all. So let's get started, and hopefully I can beat the rain and just show you a little bit about what has gone. I won't go through everything in the garden, but maybe just wander around and maybe even do a little work and have you join me. So let us go see what's growing in the Winegar garden on our weekly walkie-talkie garden tour. Let's go. This tiered level, I'm so sorry about all the booms. This tiered level had it was covered in weeds. And I got up there after my lovely neighbor said, you should plant some tomatoes up there and throw your squash and throw some watermelon. There's space up there. And I said, well, I've always worried a little bit about the railroad ties. And I didn't want to, if there was something that would leach into my soil. And that's why I've kept this very much like a second chance garden for flowers and some herbs. But she said that it shouldn't matter. This is, over probably 30 years old of railroad ties. And they're kind of even rotting. And we'd love to put this is our side yard, and we'd love to put like a beautiful rock tiered planters in here all the way down when we do some landscaping. But I decided to take a chance, and so I did. I put lots of compost up here, and these are 2 Garden Treasure tomatoes that I may have shared this story that I planted all 15 of my seeds. But guess what else I did? I went around and composted, put some good compost around each of my things. This is my rosemary, and the before and after is so amazing because it was just covered in weeds. And actually, the other day, I had a garter snake come and go under my feet. That's better. I apologize. The gun club has way too much noise for a garden tour. So we shall continue with a voiceover. These are my David Austin roses. Last week I was struggling with aphids, and this week we're much better. I even saw a ladybug. I hope the ladybug's been feasting on all of them, and I have also been using insecticidal soap, and that seems to be helping. Both of these are blooming. There's buds galore, so I do need to tie them up a little. That's on the to-do list. They are not doing very well there. I have learned to always leave my tags on my perennial plants so that I can remember their names. This is a Tranquility David Austin rose. The pink one, I did not listen to my own advice, and I'm not sure what the name of this one is, but the blooms, shape, and smell of these are so, so wonderful. Really love them. I need to work on them though and get those tied back a little. The irises are looking great. They are tiring out a little bit, but they've been lovely in their season. And the peony, it's like waiting for Christmas. I cannot wait until bloom day. I'm getting ready to deadhead my tulips. I'm going to leave the leaves, of course, but I want to go ahead and snip those stems down, then clean up around my petunias so that they can, excuse me, get ready to bloom and spread. Supervena's doing great. I'm so excited that that came back. The surprises in the garden. Talk about Christmas. Christmas in April and May. Some salvia, my lavender has some blooms on it. It's so fun to just watch things just expand. Coneflowers are doing great. And yeah, so I had a brilliant idea. This is a little strawberry patch, so I've been gardening officially for the last 3 years. In 2019, I really wanted one of these strawberry pots, and I ended up purchasing one at my local McClendon's hardware store, and I love it. And the same little bare roots that I planted are coming back every year. But look what I did. I never have really gotten a very good harvest of strawberries, which is really not the point. This is sort of my, I should say, my lovely, kind of like just for looks strawberry patch, but I wanted to get some tasty strawberries. So I took some tulle and one of my garden tomato clips, and I decided there was no blooms for any kind of pollinating. I'm hoping that was okay to do. I think it's similar to when I'm planning to cover my blueberries, so the birds can join in at their feasting table and not at my strawberry patch. I'm hoping they will leave those alone with the tulle, but I thought that was a really kind of creative idea. I'm hoping it works. I'll let you know. If any of you have ways that you protect your little strawberries, I would love to know. So I've moved all my pots out to my flower garden from the potager. I'm showing you just a little bit of what I have going on. I piled up my potatoes this past weekend. My little sage plants are doing well. Flowers seem to be doing pretty well. I have one row of bee balm. I think that's what was there, and has not bloomed or did not germinate, and I'm going to be throwing something else in there. But they are just doing their thing. I can't wait to see that come alive. Here is a pot of cucumbers that I had planted as little seeds, and I didn't want the birds jumping in there, so I put a little bit of tulle. I'm kind of hoping this little tulle strategy works around the garden. We'll see. I've already used it several times. I just love these little blooms on the chives. I'm kind of hoping. I don't think I've ever had them before, so I just am kind of watching them. So the tubing is working great on my flowers, and I'm going to show you a little project that my husband and I worked on this weekend. First of all, I'm very excited about that bird bath. Here's the current bird bath that I have in my yard, in my garden. And so hoping to switch that out in just a little bit. So this sprinkler right here is what I used originally to water this side of the garden. The west side garden is what we're calling it, and decided to move it to a sprinkler we discovered this weekend when we were running a test. And this one is much more convenient and will be able to water out, and it's not in the middle of the garden, and I had a little pot over that so no one would trip on it. So now that one can just water that area, and I'm hoping to see how it's yellowed up a little bit. So that green should fill in a little bit. So we were really excited to switch that out, and super happy with the sprinkler system that is been able to help with my irrigation system. And we weeded this weekend. So this big, large area where we mulched last year, it's kind of interesting because we have these little tiny weeds. They popped up everywhere. We've never had these, and we can only imagine that it's from the mulch that we had delivered last year, and whatever little seeds were in there popped back from whatever kind of mulch this is, and they're kind of like little ivy looking vines, and this entire area they were just popping up everywhere. So we've been working a little at a time, and here's the big reveal for today's exciting project that we're not doing today, but this weekend our job is going to be to fill our garden potager. The path is going to be filled with all of this 1-inch river rock. So I'm going to walk over to the potager right now, but let's first take a look at my little garden table. I've got to keep an eye on some of these. I've lost some seedlings, but I have a lot of things to still plant. In the backyard, I have some too. So let's take a look in the potager. So all of this barrier, I have a little barrier to work on. I need to fill in the areas that I ran out, and I have that. I'm going to get that done this weekend. Pin it down, make sure that the grass isn't coming up, and we're going to fill this with this beautiful river rock. Got some marigolds I'm going to be planting soon to help keep away the critters out of my food. I got a clematis and some other plants. I got another Vista bubblegum, and I love this. What's that called? Oh my goodness. I love that color, that chartreuse color. Coleus, that's what it was. So this weekend we had hamburgers, and I clipped some of my mixed greens off, and we had it on our hamburger, and it was delicious. My sweet sugar snap peas are doing great. I love this blossom. One of the most unique blossoms, and then it turns into those lovely little pea pods, snap peas. Yeah, so these if you remember, if you've seen my previous videos, I planted those so early, and I was so worried I was going to lose them. They were so leggy, but I popped them into there, and they are loving this little wooden teepee. And those are my little sweet pea flowers on that side. And I did end up planting another squash in that bed. I'm not sure. I should have done that. Love this potager. Can't wait to get the rocks in. I think that's 2.5 tons of river rock, you guys. Yes, I had to move my hanging basket because it was too heavy. I was watering it and all of a sudden my T frame came popping down. So I have to get some L braces. That's on the to-do list. And currently just very excited, I think, to dig in to an unboxing of this sweet little fountain bird bath. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's get started with that. Putting it together was really easy. I did research on Amazon, several different kinds of bird bath fountains, and landed on this one. It came in 2 colors. I thought I ordered the other color, but I'm happy with this, so I must have decided to get this golden one. The other one was more of a green, similar to the color of the Statue of Liberty, like that green piece, and I think I must have debated, but I need to go check my order. Perhaps they sent me the wrong one, but regardless, it's very, very cute, and I like the fancy, looks a little more formal, I think. Very easy to put together. It has a base, another piece that connects the base and the stem, and then the bowl. The solar piece is simply a little round gadget. You peel off the top. I was a little freaked out. It was making a noise, which I guess it was looking for water because the sun was hitting it, and I was wondering if it was going to make noise all the time. I soon learned that it's only because it didn't have water. It was looking for water. So it comes with 4 tops, and they're all of different kinds of, I was imagining it was for different kinds of shapes of the water fountain, and for the most part they are. I ended up, by the time I'm making this video, I was playing with all 4 of them and landed on the very tiniest one because I kept losing water out of it, but I think all of them worked really well. So I originally placed this where my bird station is, and I fill it on up. It also comes with some stakes that you can put into the base to help it stay stable in case a big wind comes or an animal knocks it over. And you can see it's trying to work here, and I'm wondering at this point, oh no. And it kind of spits for a few, but then it hit the sun. As soon as I realized that the shady area probably wasn't the best place for it, I decided to move it across into the flowers. And I think that's a great idea because I think that will draw pollinators and the birds over to the flowers as well. And I'll leave the old bird bath over in that area as well. So getting in a quick cleanup. I also filled my suet that was empty, and I ended up playing with this and putting some rocks in to help keep that solar piece, but I actually really am happy with my purchase. I think it'll be really great for the birds. I hope they find it quickly and splish splashing it all around. Put the suet in. They love this. We have some really cool woodpeckers that have been coming, lots of different nuthatch, and no squirrels. That little squirrel cap is legitimate. So here's the suet that I get, and it smells so good. That nuts and berry one actually smells so sweet. I'm sure it's not gonna last. And I already see some birds out there. They found the new field of suet, but I'll link that below because I thought it was a pretty good deal for all the suet. I hope to make some homemade. I'm showing you right now the backyard, and we have a lot of work to do in our backyard, but I did get a chance to go ahead and work on my irrigation. We went ahead and put the sprinkler attachment on so that I could put 2 1/4-inch drip tubes. I'm really excited about this bubblegum Vista Supertunia that came back, you guys, from last year. I had planted that and it wintered well and it's blooming again. So how about that? This is where I hung my basket that originally was on the potager, but I couldn't leave it there for now, so I put it outside my kitchen window. Got my gladiolas coming up. Just doing a quick little tour of the backyard. Again, we are definitely got some work to do, putting our table together. That's a little job for this coming weekend. I love this salvia. I'm going to be planting that up. It's now got, I put new tubing there. It's the 6-inch tube that I have in my flower beds, my cut flower garden. This salvia is doing pretty well. There's a few little bites out of it. Try to keep picking that off and keeping it safe from its predators, from its little bugs that eat at it at midnight. So that is it for this week. Thank you. I'm so excited that I get to show you guys what my garden's doing. And oh, I did plant some celery. Got some other things to plant, some zinnia. Thanks for joining me today. And next week we'll do another Winegar walkabout, walkie-talkie. Next week we'll do another walkie-talkie. Hello, babies. And thanks for joining me. I'll link below the bird bath and the suet that we had, and I think I'll go play in the garden some more. But until next time, joy to you, and I will see you next week. Bye.